Do you have a song for this one?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
dang it.
man.
There's a possibility.
I feel like this one probably had a song. I don't know that I actually saw this movie.
Yeah, I'll look up the soundtrack and see.
We'll do Hi, I'm Kate.
Oh, hey, I'm Kate.
And I'm Rachel.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is Feast.
Sheath.
And Shatter.
Is it hot in here or is it just me tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy novels of the spicy variety? Not your average book club, if you know what I mean. Are you happy to see us? Or is that a dagger? It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter. It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter.
What movie is this?
Eclipse.
What? Oh, Eclipse.
I'm almost
Oh
positive
my
I
God,
never saw this one.
fucking book.
Because I remember skimming it and being like, nah, that's bullshit. And then I read it this time and I was like, correct.
I again am going to
This
do a
one-
warning at the front end of this. We did not like these. I loved them when I was 25, and
Yeah.
I think there were so many things in this book that I was just like, wow, this is terrible.
This
This
isn't
book
right.
was physically painful to read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got so angry. I felt like nauseous and upset. I was so frustrated with Bella and Jacob and everyone in this book. Somehow,
Charlie.
Edward is the most rational character in this book, and not because he's rational, just because everyone else is so irrational that it makes him look good.
Oh, damn, these had like kind of amazing soundtracks, to be honest.
I'm going to tell you that all of the movies had amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, I actually remember
Because
when
they were so big.
Yeah, they were. I mean, this has like
These were
Sia, Florence
big.
and the Machine, The Black Keys, Beck, Vampire Weekend, The Black Angels, Band of Horses. Like this
It's
has
good.
a really stacked Muse. Shit, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in Raleigh at this time, one of my friends was dating a band guy. And so there were band people around. And I remember a local band was trying to get a song on one of the soundtracks because, so like you write songs and submit them. And then if your song gets chosen, that is a really great way to get famous as fuck.
Yeah.
And so they were trying to get on the Twilight soundtrack.
These movies were gigantic.
Yeah, they
Like,
were really big.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had the CD for the Twilight soundtrack.
You did?
Like, I had that in my car.
Yeah.
It was serious, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, serious.
Also, Paramore was on that one, so.
Shit. Yeah. And then the song for the last movie, I remember forever. Yeah.
Where they're
Yeah.
Oh, is-
have died every day.
Yeah.
waiting for you.
Thank you,
That one I know.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Matt, you're supposed to come in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I dropped the ball.
Don't be afraid
I have loved you
for 1,000 years.
I love you for 1,000 more.
Isn't that the wedding song from the Breaking Dawn?
It sure is.
I think it plays while she's getting married.
No. One of them plays at the last scene.
Oh yeah, it's
I
that
don't
one.
know. I
It's-
didn't
that's
actually
the
watch
last
this movie.
scene.
I'm
when they're-
thinking of the music video. Sorry.
When they're running through the fields at the end, that's the song
Okay.
that plays during the credits.
You're right.
I don't know what movie. What is the wedding march song? First of all, we're way ahead of the
It's
game.
actually-
Whoa!
yeah.
Delete, reverse, delete all of that.
Some
Scratch
that.
it.
Don't put
reverse
that.
it.
Don't put that in there
Why not?
because it's for the next one.
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We can't stay on topic to save our lives.
Did
These
we
books are
introduce
so
ourselves?
Painful. Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this book was painful. There's sexual assault.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep.
Like it's nothing.
Several times.
And the
And her dad supports it.
what's crazy is when Edward takes her car apart
Yes.
so she can't go anywhere. Like, think about that.
Yes.
If your partner took your starter out of your car,
This is
rage.
abusive.
The
it's
rage.
straight up
This
abuse.
is abuse.
Yeah.
Like, Yes, you would get a restraining order.
Bella is
Yeah.
abused in this book.
Yes,
And
by everyone.
By literally everyone.
Everyone. Charlie,
and the only
Jacob,
person that
everyone.
she wants to abuse her won't.
Yeah.
Refuses to.
Yeah.
In the way in which she would like to be abused,
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
which is abusive.
The
I mean,
withholding.
but
The
But the
withholding.
thing is, I go back and forth on that, and I feel a couple different ways about it, though. Like, Edward shouldn't have to do something he doesn't want to do either.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he has this almost religious pushback against that. He wants
Almost
to be
like
married.
Mormon-like.
One might
almost.
say.
One
Yeah.
might say he can only penetrate under God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to throw the P word in there.
That's okay. You
I
can throw it
it's
in
a
there.
I
little-
fully support.
Someone needed to because
little
it didn't happen
jarring.
in this book.
Yeah. There was no penetration in
Well,
this
and
book.
I just, I guess I guess I kind of view it as normal where, men typically don't have to withhold, but also they can if they want.
They can.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
right.
they can if they want.
Absolutely.
I just think that's such a painful existence to be so charged, physically charged by somebody.
Yeah.
And not be able to express yourself, like especially if physical love is one of your forms of expression.
Yeah.
I mean they are touchy feely, like
Yeah.
they do
Mm-hmm.
fucking do the weird neck thing
The
and like
jaw
the
kissing.
breathing
Where-
on each other and
Yeah. This is where in
Oh,
today's
no.
in today's
Don't do
world
it.
you would hope he would just bring toys or something.
yeah, exactly.
Like we don't have to go straight for like
Yeah.
missionary, which
P
is
in the
apparently
V.
the goal, but like
marble in the
I can reach my pleasure without
or
the P.
hands.
yeah. Yeah, literally anything.
hands.
Yeah, except they would be cold. That would be awkward.
It'd be fine. People use ice all the time.
Yeah.
I would not like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's warming lube.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
Warming,
And they're
buzzing
just
lube.
like,
He could use that with his marble fingers.
he's like, I can't stick my dick in there. I might hurt you. And instead of being like, well, I am a billionaire and I bought this assortment of toys and let's see what works for us.
No.
No.
He's got to be married.
It's too Mormon. We can't do that.
He's got to be married.
It's also a young adult story about a
I
17-year-old and an
know.
18-year-old.
True.
And so we are thinking from adult sexual women brains, and these are kids.
yeah.
Well,
Bring it back.
Stephanie's the one who brought sexual tension into this.
She really did.
Yeah. I didn't bring that here. She brought that to the table. Oh, it's
so
just,
what's going on in this book?
you know what I had to confront in this book, which I thought was really interesting, was my feelings
Something-
about physically leading people on. Because Edward sleeps in her bed every night, but will not have sex with her. And then she holds Jacob's hand. She like leans on Jacob. She cuddles with
I was
Jacob.
super uncomfortable with
And
all that.
I was like, okay, like thank you, Kate. She should be allowed.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's sorry. It's so good.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, like, it was a weird moment of, thank you, Kate.
God.
I feel like every once in a while you stumble into one of your, like, it's still 2005 in here rooms in your brain. And then you're like, oh no, I haven't updated in here yet. Like, I haven't figured out how I feel about this. And it was the, like, how do I feel about the fact that she's so physically affectionate with Jacob? Even though she's been clear that she doesn't love him and he's been clear that he loves her, she's still, and I'm like, is that leading on? I don't think so. Like,
But she should be able to do those things without
Right.
there being some expectation
Right.
of furthering it.
Yes.
But also you should feel responsible. Yeah, I have a hard time with it too, because if you are becoming more physically intimate, but also you can't expect something of somebody.
Well, that's where they would have a conversation. Like,
Yeah.
Jacob, I don't like you the way you like me, but I like being friends with you. And I would like to hold your hand with that feel uncomfortable
I like
for you.
physical. Yeah, it's the communication piece.
Well,
Yeah.
and they did have a very small amount of communication on that. And he was like, what? I can't hold your hand anymore. And she's
Well,
like,
and-
well, I just feel like it means something more to you. And he's like, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Well, and the thing that I don't understand is that I feel like Stephanie wanted Bella to have some sort of feeling for Jacob,
Yeah.
but it's never written well enough for it to feel like she actually does. Because it's a lot of times Bella's perspective.
Yeah.
It feels like he is just delusional. And I think she wanted it to feel like Bella actually might care for Jacob.
Yeah, because the whole thing in this book is like,
But she's-
Bella, you get to choose.
but she's
I
n-
won't stand in your way.
But she never wants to make that choice.
right, and she's always like, but I don't want Jacob.
I
And
don't
they're
want
like,
that.
And they're like, but if you wanted Jacob, that would be okay. And she's like, but I fucking don't.
If you-
I don't.
you-
and they're like, but if you
But
did,
if you did,
it's fine. Would you like to kiss him? Like the tent scene. Why don't you make out with Jacob and see how it feels?
oh,
Who said
God.
that?
Well, that's what Edward has her do. Like, that's what she does in the tent scene when they go outside and he's getting ready to go fight and she's kept Edward back. So
He
Edward's not leaving.
overhears.
Yeah, their main weapon. Like, he's an incredible fighter.
Yeah. And she's,
I cannot deal with that, first of all.
but then Jake, he's like, how about a kiss before I go? And she's like, I guess, because you could die. So I'll give you a kiss.
He's like, that's it. I'm just going to go, like, get killed
No,
out
Yeah,
here.
he's like, I guess I'll just go die.
If you go to kiss someone and they don't want to kiss you, and then they punch you in the face, you assaulted them.
Well, in the tent scene, he tells her, if you don't kiss me, I'm going to go and deliberately let myself get killed.
It was so manipulative.
That is
It was
so fucked
so
up.
toxic.
Yeah, he is toxic in this. And the whole thing is supposed to be like a will she, won't she? Like, oh no, who's she going
And
to
it
go
does.
with?
It's not like that in 2024 at all.
No, and the whole thing is like, God, Jacob is a creep. And Edward,
Yeah, this is the book where he goes from being like a decent guy to being your best friend that thinks he's entitled to you.
and it feels like that was supposed to be sexual tension.
And
Like,
it wasn't.
And it was not.
It was not.
The
And that's
scene-
why I'm saying, because everything was from her perspective, if we had, it didn't do what she thought it was doing.
Right.
But I think it did do that
Then,
20 years ago.
okay, yeah.
It's not doing that for us now, but I feel like I remember
feeling that.
feeling that sexual tension when I originally read it
Yeah, I just,
as a very misguided young lady.
rereading it now, I'm like, Bella never liked him.
Yeah, today it is. It
Yeah. When he kisses her, he forces himself on her,
is
and she
so
just
uncomfortable.
stands there.
And punches him.
well, first she
Breaks her
stops
fucking
moving.
hand.
She's like, if I don't move and I don't react, he'll stop.
It's
And then she
so-
punches him, and he's like, "Oh, was that supposed to be a punch? I thought
Breaks
you were
her
trying
hand.
to tickle me." And,
And
you're like,
then the most fucked up thing is when
Her-
she goes home and she's icing her hand, and her dad's like, "What happened?" He goes, "I punched him," and he goes, "I kissed her," and he's like, "Good job, buddy.
"Yeah."
Way to go.
Way to
Yeah.
go."
He's
Wait,
like, "Do you want to press
patting him on
charges
the
against
back.
Bella for assault because she punched him?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And everyone's like, "Come on, Bella, calm down."
I'm down,
And
Bella.
then he tells her, "You need to forgive Jacob. Forgiveness is divine." And he goes, "That's not very attractive, Bella.
Yeah.
Not forgiving him is not very attractive."
You
this-
guys know how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
I had a coworker. I may have said this on the pod before, but I had a coworker say that to me. That's not attractive. And the fastest that I turned around and was like, I am not trying to attract. Like, shut
I'm
the
sorry, that's
fuck
not my
up.
goal.
Yeah.
That's
the
not what I'm trying to do when I wake up
most
in the morning.
Fucked up thing to say to somebody.
That's
like
not
your
attractive.
your life is about attracting people, not mine. I don't give a fuck.
And she keeps going back to Jacob. After that, she goes back to him, and she's back to holding
But she
hands with him.
feels
Mm-hmm.
like she loves him as a friend, but it's like she doesn't know how to be what that means because she's so accustomed to making everybody. She's such a people
It's
pleaser.
the guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's such a people
She
pleaser.
sees him like suffering without her, and it's the guilt that's like just making her go back.
Well, then he needs to suffer because
Yeah.
he's an asshole.
He obviously needs to suffer.
But the tent scene was like vomit inducing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said that a lot. And the thing is, nothing happens in this book.
No,
And the whole
everything
plot, the whole plot, the whole buildup is we are protecting her. Victoria is coming. We keep hearing about
We don't know it's Victoria until Bella says it, like right before they get to the meadow.
Yeah, but everybody knew it was Victoria.
No, they thought it was
They
thought
just
it was
thought it was
Volturi.
random. They thought it was like some random
So it was supposed to be a
newborns.
twist that the same woman that was
Yes.
unleashed in
that
the
was
first
the
book.
twist.
Yes,
That's
that
not
was
a
the
twist.
twist ending.
That was
Yes.
the twist ending.
was the
That it was
twist ending.
Victoria.
And they don't believe her. Bella's like, guys, what if this is Victoria? And they're like, oh, come on. Oh, they're so cute, Bella. Oh, you're trying to. Do you
Are you trying to use the noggin?
Well,
did you have a thought?
yeah, and then
That's
like
so sweet.
the serial like the killings in Seattle, they keep mentioning it.
Yeah,
And
they're
Totally
like-
random.
They don't even think it's a girl vampire. They're like, there's a guy out there and he's coming after
guy.
us and he's making an army to come take us down. And Bella's like, maybe it's simpler. Maybe it's actually the bad guy that has been the bad guy for the last 2 books. And they're like, oh, Bella. And they're
that.
literally until she shows up at the clearing and they see that it's Victoria, they're like, well, if it's Victoria, which we don't think it is.
Yeah, but what the fuck did they think she was doing in the previous book? She just was
She's not even-
staking out the boundaries and figuring out where the
And then she just
the
disappeared
land-
because she was like, oh, they were like,
I guess
she
I
disappeared
given
because
the wolves
The
are here
wolves are
now.
here.
I guess
Oh,
I give
well.
up.
we're so much better protected. It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's okay.
I literally read this book like with my head in my hands, just rocking back and forth. Like
Well,
it.
and then the whole plot. Yeah, everything happens off page.
yeah, the fight
Like the
happens
fight
off
happens
page.
off page because I guess she didn't want to take on a fight.
Yeah.
And the fact that like Edward, sorry,
Which is probably a good call
Edward is
for her.
such. This is what bothered me about Bella so much is that she. Sorry, I keep touching.
That's okay.
This helps.
There you go. Do the thumbs.
Bella kept. She did this thing where she was like, I can only be with Edward. I want to be a vampire forever. I cannot accept the consequences of me wanting to be a vampire and dating a vampire. And that is what I couldn't. Like, Bella, there can be 2 truths at one time.
Yeah,
The truth is, if you're going to be around vampires,
you're fine.
okay, if you're going to be around vampires, people might try and come for you. So you need to pussy up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and like do what you got to do and like stop wishy-washing.
And let him do what he needs
Let
to
him do what he needs to do. He is a very strong vampire.
The only
like
reason,
his skill
yeah.
set is
Unique.
strength, and
Literally,
they say he's extra good at killing.
yeah. Literally, the only reason she's been in danger the last 2 books is because she put herself in danger.
Right. And
In Twilight, she runs off and gets captured, which she would
Yeah.
have been fine, but she gets captured. And then in the next book, she jumps off the cliff, and then she has to put herself in danger.
It's the damsel in distress.
But she puts herself in her own distress. She manufactures the distress and then is the damsel
right.
in
And
it.
she makes choices that are going to continue to add distress to her life.
Yeah.
And then can't rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
If like, let me give you a great example of someone who doesn't do this. Her name is Aelin Galthinius. Ash River.
We managed to go like 3 pods without bringing up
Well,
Sarah J.
here
Maas.
we
Yeah.
fucking are.
Here
Here are the spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoiler
if you
alert.
have not read Throne of Glass, pause now
And go read the entire
and go read the
series.
whole series and then come back to this Eclipse podcast. But like, if Aelin makes decisions and she puts herself in a shitty situation, she gets herself out of it.
Yeah.
She
And
takes full
so
responsibility
she takes
for
full,
the situation.
Full accountability at all times, right? And like, she'll try and martyr. Like, she's always going to take the hardest road. But this one is like, we're not at a point where we've got a strong female lead.
No.
Bella is not a strong female lead, and it just goes to show how a woman wrote a female main character in 2008.
Yes.
And this was what we had to look up to,
Yes.
right? And after reading, how many books we take in, and it's just like strong female lead like over and over and over
Yeah.
again. And so it's just so apparent so much more apparent.
Also, think
And I'm
about
sad
the
I didn't.
book.
I felt that, but I didn't have the language when I
Yeah.
was young.
For sure. Think about the book that Bella and Edward talk about so much in this
Wuthering
book.
Heights.
Wuthering
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 Heights.
And think about
I've never
the
read
heroine.
that. Have you read it?
I've read it many times.
Can you tell me about it?
It is.
Is it Emily Bronte?
Is it Emily? Yeah, Charlotte Bronte did Jane Eyre, right?
Yeah, it's one of the Bronte sisters.
It's a Bronte
I'll look
sister.
It up. Well, you synopsize.
It is a story of fated mates,
And humans?
but the fated mates
Emily.
in question, Heathcliff and Kathy, are extremely selfish. Some might say evil people.
Oh.
Like they're just so toxic to everyone around them but each other.
So like,
They're not good people.
No, they're
Oh.
not good people.
They're not good people.
So, like,
they hurt everyone
Bonnie and
around
Clyde.
them.
like Edward and Bella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where it's just a sea of destruction
They
around
just
this relationship.
leave a wake of destruction in every life that they touch. And they are fated mates.
And what's their goal?
To be together.
I guess yeah.
Well, Heathcliff wants to be with her, but she doesn't. She's never with Heathcliff. I don't think.
They're never actually together. They're never married. She marries the neighbor, and then Heathcliff
What's the point
kidnaps
of
her daughter and then makes her marry his son. But I mean, it's like, it's very crazy, but it's chaos, destruction. And you have a heroine in that book that is extremely problematic. So it kind of,
It fits.
it fits. It tracks.
It tracks. How about when Alice
It
kidnaps
computes.
Bella?
Yeah. Let's talk about Alice kidnapping Bella.
Takes her after work. Is like, come on, we're gonna go hang out. Let's just
Come
go.
on. Come on. You want to have a sleepover?
Pats the seat. Come on. Come on,
In her
Bella.
yellow Porsche.
Come on. You get in the car. It's okay. Because Edward buys her the Porsche in exchange for keeping Bella hostage for the entire weekend.
Hmm.
Because he doesn't want her running off to go see Jacob. Because he's not going to be there to disable her car this time. So Alice takes her back to the house and she's like, I'm not allowed to leave, am I? And she's like, no, but we're going to have fun.
But
I'm
it's
going
gonna
to
be
nails and stuff. We're
fun.
going to have a sleepover.
We're going to watch movies.
And so
Like
the,
she's a toddler.
the only thing Bella
She's
does
a child.
Yeah.
to fight back is not sleep in the bed.
Which
She
makes me furious.
She rips the blankets off the
Why
bed.
would you mess up? I hate when people mess up a bed. Why would you take the sheets off that bed?
I mean, it's the one act of
Didn't
defiance
take
she
the
ever
sheets
does.
off.
She rips the blankets off the bed.
Blankets, the comforter.
Okay, but in my mind, she messed up those sheets,
It's
and
too
I'm
much.
really mad about it.
It's the only thing she does. She doesn't do, she's like, okay, fine, I get it. You're trying to keep me safe, and that's because you love me, and it's okay. But like, I'm mad about it. And so she
Not
sleeps on
gonna
the
sleep
couch.
on this bed.
So he just picks her up and puts her on the bed.
Yeah, I mean, because he can.
Protest over. She's like, well, I guess I like this bed now.
That's literally what she says.
This just.
I guess I like this bed now.
God. And then she finally gets to leave.
She escapes
Yeah.
with Jacob. He rolls up to her high school on his motorcycle, and she jumps on the back, and they book it.
Yeah. And then she's like, he's going to be so mad at me. I'm so worried about
They're
going
not
home.
wearing
There's
helmets.
this other book
He's-
that there's this other book I know where when somebody locks them up, they fucking leave and never look back. And it's called A Court of Thorns and Roses. And if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, pause the podcast and reverse.
And come back when you've read all 5 books of that.
It's called Ektar.
Oh,
Ekatar.
it's so bad because then she's literally afraid Edward will kill her.
She's so scared of him.
She's like, I think he's going to be so mad at me, he might kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That
she goes
sounds
back
lovely.
and she's like, oh, that's love, y'all. That's love.
He really loves me.
You can tell because he threatens my life
Mm-hmm.
when I put myself in danger.
But also, she
is
she's never a reliable narrator.
No.
She never really understands
She does not.
Edward's intentions
No.
ever. Even
Or anyone's, for
even
that
when
matter.
he's like, like it's very clear she doesn't get it. So her thinking he's going to kill her, I do not. No, he's not, sweetheart.
No.
He is never going to do that. You just
He's just going to guilt trip
have
you.
a Delulu version of reality.
He's just going to
Delulu.
gaslight you for,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
in for
and then
some
the tent
psychological.
Oh, the tent scene.
Oh,
That
the
was
tent.
crazy.
Oh, the tent scene.
Yeah, and it just
he has to climb in there. He couldn't have laid on top of the sleeping bag. That'd have been sufficient. He didn't need to be in there with her.
Literally, he could have just sat in the tent, and he creates warmth.
It is a good way of showing what Edward cannot give her. And it's a good way of showing her humanity next to the hothouse shifter.
Yeah.
But still, you know,
It's like Stephanie Googled force proximity and was like, that's what this needs. That's what
Stephanie's
this needs.
Google history.
Did Google exist?
Yes.
It was Ask Jeeves, but whatever.
No,
Her
Google was
Ask
like
Jeeves-
Bong.
Google's
Or
like
Bing.
96 or something. Let's see.
Bong.com.
Bing. Wait,
Bong that
Yahoo.
shit.
Yahoo or AOL.com. Those are used to be your search engines. Yahoo.com. Yeah.
Google's 1998, so yeah.
Yeah, but when
Okay.
did people start actually Googling things?
Yeah, Google wasn't added to the dictionary for a long time, but
But
Google
like,
would
when
have
did
been the
Google's
search.
take off?
Google
would
would have been the search
say-
about now.
No, I feel like during this time I was still going to Ask Jeeves.
Because you could phrase it in the form of a question.
http:// Ask Jeeves.
When did
.com.
Google become the only relevant search engine?
Okay, Stephanie searched on her dial-up, which she was allowed to have only on Sundays
Yeah. After church.
after church.
And after she finished
But
cooking them in a meal.
After church, but but before prayer circle. So like in that window, and she was like, "What is
Yeah,
force
it is. It
proximity?"
was 202 to it was 2002 to 2004. So, okay,
So
you're right.
Yeah.
It's Google. Yes. What is forced proximity? Oh, when they're all stuck together. I know. The most clever way to get Bella out of this situation, so I don't have to write the epic battle where 20 newborn vampires show up in a
And the
meadow.
two most powerful people.
Yeah.
Literally the person that should be the head of the
alpha.
shifters, the alpha.
Yeah.
Should be alpha.
And Edward, who has been stated is one of the best fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to take Captain America and we're going to take Thor and we're going to leave him out of the fight.
Yeah. And we're not going to show the fight. We're just going to show Captain
Because I don't
America
want them
and
to get
Thor.
hurt.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it just, it's the damsel in distress thing. It's like an inability to rationalize and control your emotions, which, you know, everyone struggles with, but
True.
it's just so dumb.
This was such a hard scene. It was because he's laying in the bed in the
And
thing with
I
her, like fantasizing about her while
Appreciate
Edward
it
is
if
listening.
you like it. And no one that likes this is going to still.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, this isn't. The lady that I follow who's hysterical, and that's why I follow her. She says this is the infamous tent scene, so it must be like a thing.
Yeah.
I think there are people who like the world that Stephanie created, but don't like the characters that Stephanie created.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is a really cool world.
I
There's
think-
things I want to know more about.
Yeah, I think there's a thing here where like people like Twilight because they like the idea of Twilight and
They
the
like
world
Hoa
of
Hoa
Twilight.
weather.
I like Hoa Hoa weather.
Yeah, but you don't love everything that Stephanie's did.
Absolutely.
Like in the illustrated guide where she talked about how there are no black vampires because you don't get to keep your melanin. It
That's
and then I was learning more about it, and they were talking about how the director for Twilight wanted to have a diverse cast for the Cullens. Like she saw Alice
because
as
they're
Asian,
not related. They don't have to look alike.
and Stephanie was like,
Yeah.
"No, they're all white."
So
and
she
they were-
like fought back
Yeah, she's
on
like,
it.
they're definitely
So
white.
she doubled down.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did.
She did her like I
you
have
let
creative control.
the Renesmee Chucky doll exists, but you can't. I mean,
Yeah.
you know?
She's like, sorry, in my head, they're all white. And then this creator, who I will link in the show notes, has a reaction video to her own video because people were like, well, why do you think she did that? Like, why do you think she put her foot down?
Yeah.
And she was like, y'all, Stephanie's racist.
Yeah.
Stephanie is racist.
Yeah.
Plain
And she
and
might not
simple.
realize it, but she is.
But she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's it's the kind where their intentions don't align with their behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought the most interesting thing about
Uh-oh. Alexa, shut up.
Hey, it worked.
She said, "Ooh."
Yeah, she mid stopped.
So the most interesting thing about the
That's
tent
so
scene,
cool. Can I tell Alexa? I'm sorry, Alexa. That was mean.
it's fine. So if we want to one interesting thing to talk about that was not just a complaint was that Edward is immediately like, okay, Bella, I'll stay with you. I left you once and I know what that did to you and I won't do it again.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then she's like, Jacob, you stay. And he's like, no. And she's like, what if I asked you? And he's like, fucking no. Never.
What if I kissed you?
And then he's like, but I will go and intentionally kill myself if you don't kiss me.
And then she does and like gets into it.
He's so creepy in that. Like this whole book was just so, it was like Stephanie was trying to create sexual tension. I had no idea how to do it.
Has no idea.
And then I feel like when we might as well just talk about Breaking Dawn. It's fine.
Yeah.
Why not combine the two?
Yeah, because from here, all right, friends.
All right, now we're talking about Breaking Dawn.
And we're going to talk about Kate's favorite book of all time.
Breaking
Dawn.
I think she realized how problematic Jacob was because that's why she creates the well, it was because the universe knew that Bella was going to get pregnant with his one true love. And they were
my
going to
God,
bond as
the amount
babies.
of
He was attracted to
wait.
the
Was it the
seed.
last book that we started getting people imprinting on children?
Yes.
Yeah, so they
Okay,
yeah.
bring that up.
one of his friends, maybe Paul,
Yeah.
He's
or
like
Quinn. I think it's
Quinn.
Quinn who
Imprints on a
imprints on like a
3-year-old.
3-year-old.
Right.
Yeah. And he's like, it's cool. It's not like that.
It's a guardian-esque relationship.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
grooming.
later-
It's grooming.
Yeah. It's grooming. It's not physical right now. It's just setting her up to be physical later, which is fine.
Well,
It's
and you just
fine.
have to, if she had approached that, like if we had a relationship where they were adults, so we got to see what happens if you imprint on a child and you grow up and you can have this healthy like guardian brother type thing.
yeah.
Like that's okay. But that's not what we get.
That's
the
not what
intention
happens.
is that there's this romantic tie
Yeah.
Yeah.
to this
You
little
know
girl.
And it's for
it's
procreation.
going to turn sexual. It
Wait,
is a
it's for
matter of-
procreation?
It's for procreation.
They talk about why imprinting happens. They have different theories. Some think it's to make the biggest,
The strongest
bestest
wolves.
wolves.
So like okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it will always be sexual eventually,
Yeah.
except for Leah, who gets turned into a werewolf or to a
Oh,
shifter.
and also I
and
have
then never
Poor
has
Leah.
a cycle and then stops having her cycle. And she's
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm barren. Like I'm not fertile now.
And I'll never imprint because I can't bear children. I can't make more wolves.
okay, that was
That's in
like
the middle.
why would she have added that? Like what does that do for the story? Also the
Well,
way those men
For the
treat
story,
her,
nothing.
Oh, yeah.
the way they treat Leah
Yeah.
because they don't want to be emotionally vulnerable. Her emotional vulnerability
Stupid girl.
makes them upset.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine how hard it is to have to share emotions and feelings and thoughts with a pack.
Yeah, but they don't even try. They're just like, God fucking shut up, Leah.
Yeah. It goes back to Stephanie hating women.
It's
Honestly.
yeah.
That's the
one
only
not
reason.
knowing that she hates women.
No one is
And
ever nice to, even Jacob isn't, he's less nasty.
Yeah.
He's like the
And that's
lesser
as good as it gets.
of two evils.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's the only
Why
reason
would
she
you
joins his pack.
have? It doesn't make sense in the Omegaverse. The women, she could have just been an Omega.
No.
She could have just been more fertile. Could
Nope.
have been everybody's mate, and it could have been a wide shoe story.
I think it's
Yes,
Stephanie's
women
trying to
shouldn't
create a
step
white
into men roles. Women shouldn't step into men roles.
because then
or
they'll
they're-
lose their
They'll
femininity.
lose their what
Their
they're good
one
for.
true
It's
purpose.
not, it wasn't her place.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, the
Oh,
Rosalie stuff.
I'm telling
Get
you.
out of here.
Oh, the whole Bella, the fact that the only reason they didn't forcibly terminate the pregnancy is because Bella contacts Rosalie in secret before they leave the island.
To tell her.
Yeah, because
To
she
say,
knows
I need
she-
your protection.
She knows Edward will force her to end the pregnancy, so
But-
she calls Rosalie before they leave.
So she has to manipulate her husband
yes, she has to
in order
protect
to
herself.
save her child.
Yes,
Kill.
Yeah.
What a good story.
it's because he's
fun.
trying to protect her. Obviously,
Yeah.
can't let her have her own decisions. They're bad decisions.
Yeah, she can't. No,
She can't be expected to function with agency. She's going to get herself killed. So we have to make all of her decisions for her in perpetuity forever. Amen.
Okay, so let's talk about how Edward manipulates Bella into marrying him.
Oh my gosh.
She's
It
like,
is
I don't
so-
feel
is that the
comfortable
end-
getting
and that's
married.
the end of
That's
last
the end
book.
of
Yeah.
Eclipse, and we're getting into Breaking
She
Dawn.
literally says, I don't want to
wanna get married this young.
I don't want to get married this young. And he's like, sorry, all that other stuff you want to have me fully to do it, you
Yeah.
have to be married. We have to be married under God.
all of that
Yeah.
bargaining felt really, really
Not
manipulative.
actually compromising.
yeah, it was very toxic to me.
Oh,
It was
same
just
here.
giving Edward what he wants so
Yeah.
that she could get the one thing she wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was that dick.
Yeah. That marble duck.
I mean, it's always hard and it's always right there. We don't know how it works, Kate. I love the eye twitch. The like, how, I mean,
She's like, wait, how is it
Listen,
always hard?
in the illustrated guide,
It's not always
no,
erect
it's
because
not.
he'd be bumping
when
into
it's
things.
small, when it's not erect and not filled with diamond dust, it is like a small hard ball,
Okay.
and then it shifts into a tiny.
Pringles can.
He's not a Pringles can.
No
No,
way.
he's not a
happy.
Pringles.
No
No, he's like a
way.
hot dog.
No, he's not even a bun-sized hot dog.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you guys
Yeah,
said.
we
Yeah.
said Oscar Mayer, wiener,
Regular size, not bun
Regular
size.
size. After you cook it, it shrinks.
after it's been boiled for 5 hours.
Is it okay to say that if he's 17?
It's fine. No, he's not 17.
He's
like 90.
109.
Okay. Is he?
Not mentally.
Okay.
Or physically.
Okay, so in the illustrated guide, it says that all of their cells are actual crystals. And the only reason they can move is because they make a lubricant that goes between their cells so that they can move around. So that's why.
So what's the organ that makes the lubricant?
I guess the only thing that would
Pancreas.
the
vampiric
lube,
pancreas.
the lube organ. I don't know.
Yeah, the fucking. Oh.
Maybe that's
lube
what
organ.
that would make the whole like. So once she's turned, she's hard everywhere and he's hard everywhere. So like, how would that go together? You'd have to
So
have something
I-
that made lube.
Yeah, plates scraping together.
I imagine that it's more like kinetic sand.
You imagine that all you want, Kate.
So in my
That's going to
mind,
help you sleep at night.
them to them, like together, it's soft.
Do they regrow things?
Yeah, because she says when she
They have
touches
to.
him,
They don't regrow hair.
he feels normal temperature.
I'm sorry?
Canonically, they do not regrow hair. Stephanie has stated if they get their hair pulled out, it does not come back. Their hair does not grow.
Then they would all be freak monsters.
So-
with no hair,
huge
like
bald
on that
patches.
fucking move. Do you remember that show, The Strand, on FX?
Yeah.
That's what they would be like. They'd be like Nosferatu, but sparkly.
Yeah, I mean, their hair doesn't fall out naturally, but like they're an entire
They're
household.
running through the
their fucking
woods. It's going to get
fingernails? What
snagged
about
on
their
some trees.
fingernails?
Nothing grows. Nothing
done
grows.
compute. This is so stupid. I hate it.
I hate this.
This doesn't anything make sense.
They're literally like zombies. Nothing grows.
No, it doesn't make sense.
I didn't say that. Stephanie did.
Okay.
He clearly has ejaculant. Otherwise, how did we get the devil
Glitter
child?
baby.
Yeah. What organ creates the glitter bomb?
I don't know.
The vampiric
She didn't go into that.
The
What
vas
actually-
deferens,
Yeah, what actually makes semen?
the testicles,
The testicles.
So he has vampiric testes.
Yeah.
marbles, if you will.
Marbles.
Yeah. Well, he has 26 chromosomes, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They do have more chromosomes.
She goes through this whole scene where she's like trying to explain how it works. And it's the most like Carlisle's like, well, I took the liberty of running your blood while you were like something, Jacob, and you have 24 chromosomes, which is one more than a human. And he's like, oh, I'm not a human anymore. And he's like, it's okay. Vampires have 26 chromosomes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, what? Like,
The science in this book is unreal.
Yeah, at least
Literally.
they have C-sections.
yeah, they do. With teeth. With teeth.
Unlike Akatar.
Yeah.
Terror. Yeah, I just cannot. So, anyways, Edward takes his physically starved wife down to
First of all, makes her marry him.
they get married.
And
the wedding is beautiful, and she doesn't want it at all.
beautiful.
no, she doesn't want it.
Just
And
another
Alice-
moment for Alice to
Alice
live through
manipulates
her.
her into having it because she literally is like, okay, we
to
can
be
get married
honest-
in Vegas.
To be on, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. She's like, we can get married in Vegas. And she comes out and Alice is crying. And she's like, you're going to run away and you're not going to let me plan your wedding. And you're not friends anymore. And
Like, I do get it from Bella's people pleasing place that, like, if I had a friend that had a taste as good as Alice, and she does know Bella, and she does allow it, she does all. She's just an amazing wedding planner.
yeah.
And you all
I would have Alice do
everything, and all she
Yeah.
has to do is show up. I
would
mean,
have
that
her
is
dress me
kind
every
of a
day.
dream
Yeah.
to take the work out of a wedding, and
Except
it be
yeah.
the most amazing wedding you've ever
Except
seen.
it just makes her feel like a burden.
Yeah,
Here's
because
another thing
Yeah,
that they're
she's
doing.
unwell.
That makes her, and that is so unhealthy.
It is unwell.
To feel like a burden is such that people pleaser mentality. What
Yeah.
does Bella walk the aisle to?
It's like the wedding march.
I don't remember. I actually think I've only seen Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Oh, I'm talking about in the book.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely the wedding march in
Yeah.
the book. Yeah. And she doesn't even get a
And
chance to
she
look at
does-
herself.
She does.
Dun, 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 dun.
No.
Yes, it is in the
Yeah,
book.
It's Handel's march.
It sure is.
Yeah. She
That's
doesn't
fine.
even get a
Not
chance
even
to
like
look at
Claire de
herself.
Lune or something.
Nope.
That's their jam.
No.
Nope.
No, not even her lullaby that he sings her to sleep with.
Lullaby.
When he like picks her up and rocks her like a baby, gives her pacifier.
I'm a
Palms
baby.
to her.
I'm just a baby. I'm
just a baby.
baby. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby.
I know.
Wait.
It's which none of it she wants. Although Renee, the one that she thought was gonna be mad at her, Renee is like, well, I mean, I saw that coming.
I love that.
Oh, we haven't
actually,
even talked about her mom.
I love how absent her mother is.
Yeah.
She does
Yeah.
not come up when she's sick,
Nope.
like in New Moon. She does not show up at all in Eclipse.
Well, because she probably forgot her phone charger somewhere and
Yeah.
she can't use a phone.
They do go visit her, but it's a ploy
Mm-hmm.
because they see something. Oh, that must be in Eclipse. One is the one where they see something happening and they won't tell her what's happening. And they end up he's like, well, let's go to Jackson and
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
that's Eclipse.
And then
There was a
she's-
lot of handling in Eclipse.
She's like, I don't want to go to Jacksonville. And he goes down. And he's like, Charlie, Bella wants to go see her mom.
and
he's
we
like,
bought her
"Oh,
these
okay."
expensive plane tickets that are about to
Oh,
expire tomorrow.
Yeah, and Carly will feel really bad if we don't use these.
Esme would probably cry. You don't want to make
we
Esme
don't wanna
cry,
make Esme
do
cry.
you?
Oh, poor Esme. She's the most Mormon person in these entire book series.
Oh my God.
She probably talks like that lady from the Duggars.
Her superpower.
Yeah.
She probably has that voice.
her superpower
Yes.
is being a mother.
Wait,
Yes.
what is the
Yeah.
voice? Isn't the voice where it's like, ultra feminine, and we
it's like
talk
a baby. It's a baby voice like this.
Yeah.
because we are so
It's Mrs. Duggar.
we
Yeah.
are so just soft, gentle creatures that
Yeah.
feed our children when they're babies on blankets.
She's like, you know what, Bella? I'm just so glad that you're joining our family. And I've always wanted a daughter, and I've really been waiting for Edward to find someone.
And you're just perfect. Yeah.
Ugh. And
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
My favorite is when Jacob shows up to the wedding and they're having their sweet little friend moment dancing. And he's like, so is it tonight? Is he turning you tonight? She's like, no, I didn't want to be screaming in pain for my honeymoon. He's like, well, you can't have a real honeymoon as a human.
And she says, yeah, we will. And he gets all mad and runs off again.
He's going to kill you, Bella.
He's going to.
She was fine. She had some bruises on her arms.
It's not his business. It is. Plus, he doesn't know
Wait,
how it
I have a
works. Did he
question.
walk through it
Yeah,
with
I'm
Edward?
sorry. Have you had sex with a vampire lately? Like, what are you not telling me?
Wait, let me ask this because I didn't read the middle of the book. Does Charlie find out she's a vampire?
No, he just finds out something happened,
Something's
and
weird
he's like,
with her.
he's like, need to know. Just don't.
He's
tell
on a
me.
need to know basis. He knows that Jacob is a wolf shifter, and he knows that Bella is something different.
But not what.
Because if they tell him exactly what, then they'll be in trouble with the Volturi, which they end up being in trouble anyways.
Well, the Volturi made that up, which is in the illustrated guide.
So if there was another movie, or she continued the story,
Which she's going to.
I'd kill myself.
she's going to have to change a lot
Yeah.
to keep up with today.
Well, we'll find out.
Oh,
I'm
Like,
curious.
I need the Volturi system to break and fall apart.
Like,
And
has
that
Stephanie
Sure.
been on
And
the
I
internet
need-
since 2008?
I doubt it.
she on TikTok.
They
'cause
don't
still on
have
Facebook.
Wi-Fi
She's
in
still on
Utah.
Facebook.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Right.
people still think fondly of these books.
Because they haven't read
but
'em.
It's the same
Because
reason.
I'm telling you, I
Dude,
felt
it's this. Sorry,
yeah.
Hannah.
No, I felt fondly of them until this reread.
Until you reread
and
them.
I am terrified.
So I read this book recently, Red Rising, because you guys know that I've told y'all both about this. There's this creator who's on Book Talk who I've always really enjoyed. She was in her mass book. She was, she likes the same kind of books that we do. But now she's reading all of the dude fantasies.
Yeah.
And one of her things that she did was she made a post with a stack of 5 books in her hands. And she said, to all the Throne of Glass and ACOTAR readers, if you loved those books, these are way better. And then proceeded to give a stack of books only written by men with only like male main characters.
Nice.
Except for Mistborn, but like Sanderson isn't the same to me. He's such a wholesome guy.
Yeah.
So like I respect Brandon in a way that's just different. And I think that he's really, really trying. Like Navani and Yasna are incredible characters.
Yeah.
Which you'll both find out as you continue to read those books. But so Joe Abercrombie was one of them. And I haven't read I've tried twice to get into that, to read The Blade itself. I've tried twice now to start it.
Wow.
And I still can't get enough into it, but I think it's because I need to read the words. Because you have to kind of read the words for a new world.
Yeah.
Because audiobooks for me don't click until I understand the world, and then I can understand what's happening. So new worlds, I need to just start on the page. So I started Red Rising, and I picked it up again. And this book, almost immediately, they are teenagers. He is married, and his 35-year-old uncle is making sexual jokes about his 16-year-old bride instantly. Now, they are young, and to me, there's no reason that they have to be teenagers, except
Right.
for he goes to like a school later on. But then there is some like normalization of, using the R word, just like Martin does. That thing
Yeah.
where you use the R word to the women characters they are in there, but they are kind of like side characters that are used for plot.
Yeah.
They just things happen
They're
to
just
them
plot devices.
to move the plot forward. And
Yeah.
so I'm reading this book that this girl has said these are way better, and it just hurts my feelings as a woman
Yeah.
because we are allowed to, like, you can say what you want about Sarah Janet Maas. I mean, she's made some mistakes. You know, she's done
Yes.
some unkind things, and I hope she's learned her damn lesson. But her stories and the way they resonate and the way they feel written for
women.
Yeah.
by women, it's just
To promote women.
to promote women. It's not the same. It's not apples to apples. Did I say this
No.
in the last pod?
No, I don't think so.
Sure.
I think you just talked to me about
You've
it.
told me, but we didn't talk about it on
but
pod.
they're not,
It's
to
not
me.
app- no, they're not in the same
And I
category.
thought I really got her. I really got her.
Gotcha.
I really got her when I was. This is what my comment was.
Full bunny
Because I
bitch
think
moment.
I almost said something. I almost, sometimes I almost say something actually mean, and then I just always delete it. But what I said was, oh my God, where's my damn thought?
It was not. It was just like, yeah, well, they're all by men.
No, I said apples. I said apples in quotes are way better than oranges with a roll your eyes face.
Good one, Kate.
You got her.
I got her.
You got her.
I'm so.
That's it. She's gonna
I'm
reform immediately.
I'm so.
She's like, damn, that was the
what
harshest
so
comment today.
poignant. She's world changing. I just
She
don't. I just
rethought her
cannot be
life.
mean to people on the internet, even if I
Yeah,
want to.
I know.
I refuse to be mean to another person just because they're around behind another screen.
Yeah.
Even if they're doubling down on being, I'm just
Really
gonna.
ugly, yeah.
Even if they're being really horrible people, I'm just gonna block them
yeah.
and move on and get them out of my sphere because I just
Well, you
think the
got- yeah.
unkindness today on the internet is just
It's too much.
it is too much.
Well,
People,
you got triggered because we grew up with books like this, to bring it back to Breaking Dawn, where like they go to the island, they have a night together. First, nobody prepares her for what it's going to be like to have sex with a vampire. At
nobody
all.
has a conversation with her.
She
at
probably
all.
had like abstinence only education, and that was all she had, and that was it. And like then she literally, the only thing that Alice packs her is lingerie, not even outfits. She goes in and has like an everything shower, shaves her legs before going to swim in the ocean, which sounds like actual
Owie.
torture.
Yeah, it does.
Then he's like, come and swim with me. And she's like, what? She's literally hiding under a blanket crying because she's so
She's
horny,
having
but
a
she's so
panic attack.
scared that she's going to be bad at it. And then they end up having sex, and she wakes up and she's like, oh my God, that was the most amazing night of my life. And he's like, it was fucking terrible, and I hated it, and I hate myself.
traumatizing.
It's never going to happen again.
And she's like,
Imagine the shame and guilt.
Oh my God.
and she's like, this isn't bad. Like, I've fallen and hurt myself worse. And he's like, I'm never touching you again.
Yeah.
And that was his virginity as well.
Yeah. And that's it. Like,
He's expelled his diamond dust before?
I'm sure that Stephanie does not know what masturbation is.
I'm positive that is the
Because they
case.
could have had mutual masturbation just fine together.
I
Yeah,
think you'll
yeah.
find.
When
I
I
think
brought
you'll
this up,
find
you guys told
Stephanie
me they
doesn't
were
do that.
17 and that I shouldn't talk about it.
Wait, for real?
Yes. I said, what about toys? And you guys like, they were children. I'm like, well, Stephanie brought this into the room. So
Well, yeah, I mean, there's other ways for people to.
Yes.
Not all. It's going back to our very first episode.
there is only
Our very first podcast episode.
Bringing it back to our ACOTAR chat about how penetrative sex is the only kind of sex.
Yes,
And that is not true.
it is not true.
And that's what we got
Yeah.
from this. That's what we got from this was like, I'm sorry, we can only do missionary where I'm on top. So
Yeah.
I'm having to concentrate on not hurting you the whole time. And we can only do the thing where my penis goes in your vagina and that's it. Sorry. There's no other. That's the only thing the Lord will allow.
Yeah. That's how you make them babies.
Well, it works. So
It
'cause she's
sure
pregnant
does.
Immediately.
She immediately becomes pregnant by his diamond dust.
Yeah.
Creates a
baby.
diamond baby.
Yep. They go like they're like on the island for like 3 weeks. They don't have sex. And finally she cries
She
and
literally
begs
sobs.
him. And he's like, fucking fine.
Fine.
Fucking fine. And he tears apart the bed.
Breaks
She's
the
like,
bed.
haha, no feathers this time. Yeah, you didn't almost kill me that way. You almost killed me a different way. Haha, isn't that funny?
So cute.
Yeah. And then she finds a box of tampons in with her lingerie.
So they barely have sex, and the sex they do have, she makes miserable for one of them.
Yeah.
Great.
That
That is such a positive
so
message.
typical.
Well, their first experience is fine for her, but then when she wakes up, he's literally laying there stewing about
he's
how he hurt.
furious.
And she's like, "You ruined it. You ruined it."
I was
and he's
so
like,
happy, and you ruined my good time.
And he's like, "Well, I'm glad I ruined it because I'm never doing it again."
Yeah.
And she was like, "That was one of the most amazing experiences of my life." And he's like, "I don't care. I hated it."
I
Yeah.
cannot stand that. I cannot stand
And then they rush back because he's like, "We'll take care of it, Bella. We'll take
So
care
do
of
they
it. We'll
figure
get
out
it
I'm gonna
out
get
of
that
you."
thing
Do
out
they-
of you.
Wait, what happens with the maids?
They come in.
Don't they kind of figure it out?
The one maid, like, she's from a region that knows what that is.
They have their own legends.
And she's like, "Oh, look, a vampire baby is in your belly right there."
I can tell by looking at your face.
So is that
You're
how she
gonna
figures
die.
out she's pregnant?
Well, no, she gets sick, and then she's like, I miss my period. And then she has a little bump, and she
then it kicks
feels
her.
a kick. And
Because the baby
Then
grows
Alice
really
calls.
fast, right?
Yeah.
The gestation period's really small.
It's like a month. She's pregnant for like a month.
No way.
Yeah.
and her body gets destroyed in that month.
The entire timeline of the 4 books is less than a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like about a year. Because it goes almost birthday to, but she doesn't quite make her 19th birthday. So it goes from just before her 18th birthday to just before her 19th birthday.
Interesting.
So she meets Edward, and then a year later, she's dead. I mean, she's a
Literally.
vampire, but she's dead.
She
Wait,
died.
she turns 18 in the second book.
She turns 18 in, because that's why he runs away.
But doesn't
Twilight
so they
is
know
like
it's a
a
little
month
bit longer than
long.
a year.
Yeah, it's like 14 months.
It's very short.
Because she
That
finishes
is-
out her junior year,
That is just
and
an
then her whole senior year.
Interesting choice.
Right. And so then we switch to Jacob's point of view, which I think was Stephanie's attempt to make him likable. It
'Cause
does
we-
not work.
Hated him in the second book.
It does not work,
Yeah.
but it does, I don't know. It happens. I listened to the audiobook and it's a different audio reader for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So Jacob has a POV and Edward doesn't
Right.
Yeah, it's
That's
just Bella
funny.
and Jacob.
in the
And
second.
it's mostly
in
just
the-
Jacob being like, I know she loves me and not him. And I
That's
don't know why
not
she
true.
doesn't.
That isn't true.
No one listens to Bella. Do you know how frustrated I would be?
Ugh.
She's always shouting, I don't like him. And they're all like, I think you kind of do, though. I think you kind of do. Well, every time he shows up, she smiles at him. And he's like, see, she loves me.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Look it. She's
Nope,
happy to
it's
see
the,
me.
It's the baby in her womb that loves him.
Yeah. And he's the one that
Oh, is that
suggests
what's
she
happening?
drinks blood. Yeah.
That's the
That's
explanation.
literally what it is.
Because after she becomes a vampire, she's like completely over Jacob. And he's like, remember how a couple days ago you didn't want me out of your sight? That was Renesmee calling to me.
And it was Carly. Her middle name is Carly.
Oh,
Renesmee.
Yeah, that's what
Carly.
I thought.
Yeah.
Carly.
I
Yeah.
had forgotten that.
Yeah, I was like, it
That
can
was-
only be two things.
That was a
It's
treat.
either Charlisle or Carly.
I'm surprised it wasn't Charlisle, honestly.
Renesmee Charlisle.
Quan.
Yeah.
Cullen Swan.
Sullen. Swollen.
Swole.
Renesmee. Esme. Wait, Renee.
Renesmee.
Renesmee Charlisle.
Swollen.
Stephanie's just tap tapping on the keyboard.
So clever. I'm
She's like,
so
oh
clever.
my God, that is so beautiful.
Wait. What? Hey, kitty.
It's so romantic. She combined all their names.
Oh, God.
Bella's like,
Because
I
she's
will
an
now be going
independent woman.
The
Bella's like-
entire family's involved.
Bella's like, I will now be going by Bedward. And that's Edwella.
Okay.
This book is so wild if you think about it.
Yeah,
we
it really
start
is
out with the
wild.
wedding, then she gets pregnant, and then she's sick and dying forever.
So long.
And, like,
so
really?
long of
So
her
long?
being sick of dying.
The baby
That's the whole
is
middle.
killing
Really?
her, and she's like, "Oh, he's so cute when it breaks my ribs." And Jacob is like, "I hate the baby because it's hurting Bella," and it's so long.
It's so much.
And she's so obsessed with the baby. She's like, "It's little Edward. I've named it Little Edward.
Little
and it's
EJ.
A boy. Little EJ. Edward Jacob is my baby." And it's like, oh my God.
Well, I get it. I get why she loves her baby.
Luckily, it's not a boy, because can you
Luckily.
imagine how enmeshed that situation would have been if it looked like Edward and it was a boy?
She'd be a real boy mom.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the one where it was like,
I'm a boy mom.
like, what would she have been like as a boy mom? Like, she would have let.
Oh, I didn't see that. Did you send something?
I did, and it
Oh,
was
okay.
like she would have let little EJ kill a kid, and then like put an Instagram picture up of like the blood chin and been like, "Oh, he makes such a mess when he eats." Hashtag boy mom.
Boy mom. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then she dies for 3 days, so she doesn't even see her baby for 3 days.
Here's
Wait,
the other
she's
thing.
dead for 3 days.
Here's
Really?
here's the thing.
What's the turn like in the book?
I'm gonna tell
Because I
you.
like the turn in the movie.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I think you'll find.
Alice can see the future.
Yes.
Alice can see when she's going to give birth.
No, because she can't see Renesmee.
They know Carlisle has estimated the roundabout day based on how big she's getting, how many centimeters she's measuring. They think she's going to have the baby on this day, right?
Yeah.
They decide to all go hunting that day.
Yup.
They're like, we're going to go get some blood.
Listen, characters are only as smart as the person writing them.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
And Carlisle, the doctor, is like, well, this is the best possible moment for me to go.
I should leave
All
now.
of us at one time.
I actually think she's premature because it breaks her spine. It like
Yeah.
detaches the placenta because she drops a cup and she's like, whoopsies, and she leans over to pick the cup up and it like
Her spine.
it breaks her back.
Yep. So she
What
goes
breaks her
through
back?
the
Because
baby.
her
Her placenta
her-
Because
detaches.
it's made out
and
of
everything
marble?
is made out of marble. Like literally her
Yeah,
It
the
breaks her
membrane.
spine?
amniotic sac is made out of marble.
It cannot be penetrated.
It says that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marble?
Yeah, Edward has to bite the baby out because that's the only
his
thing that can
teeth.
get it out.
So they knew she was going to have to die. So
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
planned that he was going to turn her.
Yeah.
So as soon as the baby comes out, she turns.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
he
does she
starts
have to
biting
suck her blood?
No.
How do you turn a baby?
Just venom. They're venomous.
You just bite them. And he's got a syringe with his venom in it that he like.
spit into a cup and then pull it up with the
Oh my gosh, have y'all seen that girl on that thing on TikTok, the hot Tui girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not on TikTok.
Oh my god. Okay, so I guess they were doing a street interview, and this guy, I actually kind of fucking love her, to be honest. He goes, "What do you do to?" I don't even remember what the question goes. She goes, "You know what you got to do? You got to go hot tooey on that thing." You know what I mean? And it just became it, like took over.
Everyone's just like,
Yeah, everybody's that's so real though. Like,
Yeah.
And so now there's just this whole thing about the hot tui girl, and they found her, and all these men are making jokes about trying to get their wives to hot tui, and anyways, so
Of course.
typical.
typical.
Anyway, so then we switch to her point of view and she's burning. She's burning.
burning.
She's literally in so much pain. She wants to scream even though she knows it won't make it better, but she doesn't because she doesn't want
doesn't
anybody
want
to
to
know.
upset
She doesn't want
Edward.
to upset anyone.
So she's repressed even in her
doesn't
death.
she even lies to Carlisle when she wakes up and says, "Oh, I didn't remember." Yeah, it really worked good.
yeah, no, the morphine was great. Thanks.
The morphine worked great. I didn't feel a thing. And she's in the worst agony of her life and remembers every moment of it.
Lies about
She
it.
totally
Yeah.
lies because she doesn't want them to feel bad.
So is all of that supposed to be part of her power?
No, her power is like she's a shield.
But she also is withholding,
Yeah.
like an immense ability to withhold.
Because she's now stuck as this unregulated, low frequency 18-year-old child for the rest of eternity.
Forever.
So she's dead in the book for 3 days,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then she comes back.
Yep.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
Opens her eyes. Yeah. It usually takes a few days
So
for
they
a vampire to
for
fully
their
transform.
organs to become vampiric.
Yeah. And then Renesmee is actually like a toddler now.
Yeah,
Because
she's
She
got
grows
doesn't
so
get to
fast.
hold her newborn.
No. Well, she does. They put her on her chest right before she dies, and it bites her.
Yeah, Renesmee bites her.
Renesmee bites
boob.
her. And then they're like, no, Renesmee.
No bites.
No bites.
But isn't she fully conscious?
Who?
Renesmee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has teeth. She's born
Yeah,
with teeth.
she's like she's probably smarter than Bella.
She's kind of
Already.
like, to
Like,
be
she
honest,
comes
she kind
out.
of reminds me of Paul Atreides' sister.
Yeah, she's a little bit creepy. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if Stephanie wanted us to like Nessie, but and then she's
Yeah.
like, how come everybody
Nessie?
gave her a nickname? Like everyone was gonna call her Renesmee the entire
We're not calling her Renesmee. That's a stupid fucking name.
They all call her Nessie. She's like, you're calling her after a
Loch
So
Ness
does,
monster.
so does
Loch
Jacob
Ness
not name her
monster.
that in the books?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my Nessie.
So does he imprint on the baby? almost-
Immediately.
Rosalie is holding the baby. She puts it up over her shoulder.
He's
He's
like-
heading to Rosalie to take the baby and kill it.
He's gonna kill the baby.
And
And he's so mad that Bella's dead.
So the universe, the lords of the universe,
The Lord.
made him imprint.
Yeah.
Universe, the fated
It
mates.
solved a lot of her problems. It
Sure
made
did.
him less problematic. It got her to break Jacob and Bella apart in a way that felt like it worked in the world. There
Got
was
the
a
wolves
whole
to not be hostile.
right. There was a whole rift in the wolves.
It brought the wolves and the Cullens together.
Yep.
It
It
solved
a
so
ton
many.
of her problems. And then all of a sudden, it's like we're back in Twilight Land where nothing is happening. Until they're like, oh no, the Volturi
And
found
then
out.
in the last
Somebody
quarter of the
sees-
book,
Somebody
we
sees,
have a new problem.
and then
Yeah.
somebody sees the baby, right?
Yeah, the lady from the last book who refused to come and help
One of the Alaska girls.
because Laurent was her like biffle, and one of the wolves ate it. Best friend for life.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
And
is
the wolves,
that?
her like fated mate, Laurent.
She
the-
wouldn't like come to the wedding because
Oh, well, Laurent
she really
was her
loved Laurent.
Wait,
Laurent
were
was
they
o-
fated mates?
I
no,
guess.
like they knew each other for like 3 weeks.
I know, but Laurent was going to kill Bella, and so the wolves killed Laurent. But like, she's mad about it because she kind of liked Laurent.
She did.
Oh, so they
kinda like
weren't like mates.
No,
Not the same way
I
Victoria.
mean, she was.
and
That's how she was acting, but like, it just didn't track. It just wasn't.
I think that we're supposed to
Consistent.
think they're mates, but at the same time, it's so thrown in there. You're like, I don't know. 'Cause
Like, whatever.
She shows up to make amends, and she sees Nessie jump up to get a snowflake, and she's like, "Immortal baby!" And then she just runs off.
Immortal baby.
Which-
Immortal baby.
What the fuck was the whole plot line with the like immortal children? And it's like their weird like thing where for like a period of time they were all making them like tchotchkes, like they were like
Yeah.
collecting babies and turning them into vampires, and like that was
And
ever
then
going
they
to be a
start
great
a
idea.
vampire war against the mortal baby. Like,
I don't
you know
know.
what it
I think
kinda
Stephanie Meyer
is like.
snuck the interview with the vampire like
That's
DVD
what it reminded me
into
of.
her house,
Like I just
somewhere between
pictured
Eclipse.
Kristen Dunst.
yeah, just everywhere.
But they're baby
wreaking
babies,
havoc.
like toddlers. Like they
Yeah.
were turning babies into vampires
And they
because
would have
it made
temper
them so
tantrums.
cute. And they were so cute. They were keeping them like pets, but they're babies, so they were running off and killing people. And so the Volturi had to step in and kill all the vampire babies and kill all the people
And all
who
the
were
people
making
that were
them.
making the vampire babies.
I mean, that
So it's a
computes.
real big sore spot. So she freaks out and she runs to Volturi and says, "They're doing it, they're bad stuff."
And I
Yeah.
don't like yeah, and then the Volturi show up because they're trying to collect Edward.
Well, they want Edward and Alice.
They want
Yeah.
Edward, Bella,
and they said
Alice.
they were going to check in and make sure that Bella had been turned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they come to annihilate. They come to like take over because they bring their wives, which haven't left the tower in like 1,000 years or something.
They bring their wives.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
bring a whole.
They bring the
host.
whole
Everybody.
So their wives
Wait, let me
don't
ask you
leave
a
the
question.
tower.
Let me
Oh.
ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
How do they fly on a
I-
plane?
Promise you, the Volturi have their own
Private
plane.
jet.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
We don't talk
Private
about
jet.
Maybe they
You
swam
probably-
the ocean.
You don't see
That's
Arrow
what I'm
and Caius
asking.
sitting in coach like.
No, they pulled
No,
a
thank
full-on
you, no
Pirates of the
pretzels.
No, they pulled a full-on Pirates
I'll
of the
take a ginger
Caribbean.
ale.
Can I have a
Please?
Diet Coke?
Wait. They pulled a full-on Pirates of the Caribbean where they walk across the bottom of the ocean. That's why it took them a month to get there.
Wait, it took them a month to
It
get
takes
there?
them a month. It's a month from the time that
It's 1
they
month.
see.
From when Alice
Okay, so
first
they
sees
do
their
walk across
decision
the
to
ocean.
come.
Yeah.
Maybe they do swim across
They
the ocean.
swam.
No, they walk on the bottom.
They walk on the
Yeah,
bottom.
They
but
walk
there's
in the
a
bottom.
reef.
It's fine.
No,
They
no,
just
no, no.
punch
But
their
like,
way through.
they have to go. No.
Someone's got a
'cause
power
they're
for
on
that.
the
It's fine.
No, they're on the Pacific side. So for them to have crossed the Pacific Ocean, y'all know that's an entire world side.
Well, I was
Well,
just
they're-
thinking they would come across the Atlantic.
They're in
and
Italy,
then-
aren't they? In Italy,
But just Seattle,
Yeah, they can just cross on land.
and then just
and then walk across the ocean.
walk across the United States.
They must
Why
walk
not?
there. It's fine. Why would they in the be in the
It's still
Pacific?
it's
They're
still
in
a
Italy.
shorter distance,
Right, but
from
you-
Italy
The
to
Italy is in the Mediterranean Sea.
Correct.
So
So-
they just have to walk across the Mediterranean Sea, walk out, walk over Spain, down,
and then across the Atlantic. But then they
Yeah.
get to the east coast of the United States.
Oh no,
and
it's
then,
fine. They
and
just
then
go down and around the
the
bottom
Panama
of
Canal.
The Panama
They go through the Panama Canal. Maybe they took a cargo ship. Maybe they
No,
have their own.
they all just clung to the
Definitely.
bottom like barnacles. rode through the
took-
locks, and then they hop off, walk up along California.
We're in the locks now.
That is absolutely what happened.
They totally just clung onto the cargo ship.
That's why they're so dusty looking. That's why their eyes are so milky.
No, they flew. They flew in their private jet.
No. They walked. That's how they collected all the people. Because by the time they get there, they have like a bunch of extra witnesses.
There's like 50 or 60
They
people
probably
with
met
them.
some people in California.
They could have taken the Bering Strait.
They could They could have taken Lois and Clark's trail.
No, like they could have gone up towards Russia and come over in Alaska that way.
Yeah, that's true.
And that would have been the least amount of people. They could have gone up through,
Yeah.
think
Siberia.
yeah, Siberia. Yeah.
There's no other reason for it to take a month. Because she could have flown there and been like, immortal baby. They could be like,
imagine
okay.
if they were running across the land and they came over. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Clinging to the bottom of cargo ships is my canon now.
Yep. Done.
And then they must have bought new cloaks when they got to California.
Sure.
Had them shipped. They just
Shipped ahead.
shipped ahead. They stopped, picked them up,
What if they
changed
like
clothes.
rode a shark or something?
I'm sure someone has that power. You know, one of them
Yeah.
is basically Aquaman. They just
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have every power required. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Except to see the future because he wants Alice bad.
They've got a lady that can break apart ties. Like if you're friends, they can make you not friends. They got the lady that can give you migraines. They got like creepy mist guy.
Wait, he can just mist people? Or
Well, he
Alex.
makes it so like once the mist touches you, you can't see or hear or do anything.
Takes away your senses. Which
And
we
then-
learn is just an illusion. It's in your mind.
My favorite
No,
one
it's
is
physical mist.
yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. My favorite one is Shaban, who they literally imply she has the power to make the outcome that she wants to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Doesn't
Carlisle's
that
like,
make you somewhat like omnipotent?
yes, Carlisle's like, I need you to believe this will work out because then it will work out.
It's like the power of positive thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a character like that on Deadpool. Anyways,
Yeah. But yeah, no, with,
she's just
with
like good luck.
my favorite part is when they are gathering the people and it's like, here's the Irish vampires, here's the like
Liam.
roaming vampires, and then here's the Amazons.
The Amazons. Are we like? Is that a term? Is that a racial term?
And they are a thruple.
They
yeah, the Amazons are a throuple.
Yeah.
what?
There's 3 of them and they're never separated.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like family.
Except they are right now because Alice takes one of them.
Yeah, Alice does take one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to the part where Alice comes in. I do like how they added the movie. In the movie they add,
Which
made it better.
it makes it better, but it
The
shouldn't
movie
work
fixed it.
But the
because
movie did fix it. This might be the only case of a movie being better.
This is the only-
Stardust is better as a movie than a book.
Really?
Okay.
I would hate to read that book.
Yeah, even Neil Gaiman was like, "Yeah, well played. That's way better."
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah, the ending of the book sucks, but it's fine. So, but the ending to Breaking Dawn shouldn't work because Alice can't see anywhere where the wolves are.
Yeah.
So she has the whole vision, including the wolves. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not going to work.
but it's fine.
And also,
it's a way better
if I
ending.
was
I'm okay with it.
Alice, I would be freaking livid when I got home and found out that my entire family that I've known for 100 years thought that I actually abandoned them.
Immediately.
Y'all didn't have faith in me for
Immediately.
1 minute.
They're like, well, she left us. She
That's
left
it.
us.
She-
We must be doomed.
Her
and she knew
and
we were
Jasper
doomed.
are going to survive somewhere, and we're just going to die. I would be livid. Poor Alice.
Immediately. She leaves.
They have
and-
0.00 faith in that girl.
They're like, well, we always knew she'd leave when the going got tough.
Saw that coming.
I saw that coming. Even Bella's like, well, she must have seen we were all going to die and got out early. Well, I'm going to miss her.
Yep, good for her.
And then she
Yeah.
leaves the most cryptic note possible. You can write at light speed. She could have written a whole letter. She
You
could have
could have
written a
written
whole ass letter. And been like, I
everything
am
down.
leaving to find another person like Renesmee so that I can prove that they do not grow up to become wanted murderers. And I will be back by the time you need
Yeah,
me.
but you know what doesn't make sense? The way that she found them. Like, where do you go to just gather clues?
You just go to the Amazon and start asking all the Amazonians.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know
if
how
y'all,
natives know stuff?
they all know stuff. They
Yeah.
all know of a family.
They
Do
probably-
y'all know any?
They probably found a
people that-
shaman
but
played by
South-
Graham Greene.
Absolutely did.
Well, Graham Greene's already in the story. He's Henry Clearwater.
Oh, okay,
Well,
sorry.
Harry Clearwater died in the last one.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
no,
Harry-
she
yeah.
consulted
So
Harry.
he can come
Clearwater's
back for this book.
Ghost, and he was like, "I'll give you an address. Here you
Yeah.
go."
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they literally
Poor Graham
just
Greene. I
go
actually-
running around the
very
Amazon.
gentle, kind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually love
I
him.
love
Yeah.
him.
He reminds me of my childhood so much
This
because we
isn't about
watched
him.
Yes.
we watched Dances with Wolves so many times that
Yes.
there's something so like healing about Graham Greene.
Absolutely.
That's why I knew immediately. I knew his name immediately. I'm like,
Yeah.
Graham Greene, I
Yeah.
love him.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh my god! But she found his ghost. He let her. She's like, I had to find an absence. I had to find where something was not. And you're like, okay, great. That's
Just look for
great.
the holes.
Just look for the holes.
Well, the whole last part of that book was absolute bullshit, and the movie actually fixed it.
Well, and I do think that the movie, I think Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson are very respectable actors.
Mhm.
And I think the movie fixed it because I don't think the movie's is problematic like these books.
I'm gonna hold judgment until we watch them again.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be outraged. I love how the first one feels like an independent film, and the rest are like, yeah, fuck that. We're just gonna go full blockbuster.
Giant blockbusters.
Yeah.
But we can't afford decent wigs.
No.
We're gonna find the worst wigs for Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Ooh, does it have bad wigs?
Yeah, just in that one movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I Googled, why is everyone wearing a wig in this one? And it was like, I don't know. I forgot what it said. Kristen Stewart had to have her hair cut for another role, so that's why she's wearing a wig. Actually, that's Eclipse for that wig. And you can see
Her netting,
it. You can see
the lace front.
it is the worst wig I've ever seen. And then Rosalie's wearing one that is equally horrifying.
I didn't like the Rosalie casting at all.
I never liked it from day one.
Yeah, well, I
No.
will tell you this: nobody
Nikki
has
Reed, we love you.
Nobody
You're
has
beautiful.
iPhone face in it though. Everybody has iPhone face these days. You know what that is? Where you look
No.
like you're an Instagram model, like you just had your
Filter.
Yeah, you just had everything.
Oh.
Your nose done, your lips done, your buccal fat removed.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we reread these.
Me too.
But let's talk about.
I
Are we
never want to
done?
read them again.
Is there anything else that's important for us to talk
I
about?
just want to say we are about to take our break.
Yes.
Our literary break.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going
We
to
may
take
get back together to watch the movies, but we are going to have a few months.
Yeah, this is
Off.
the end of season
1.
Sure, season 1. We're going to start having seasonal breaks because life gets busy and it's nice to have a break. And we can read some bigger books and come back and talk about them.
So we're coming back in October.
Yes.
So we'll be back in October. And when we get back, we will be covering, we're going to shift it up a little bit, but we're going to be doing the Stormlight Archive, which I've read before. So it's a reread for me. It's the first time Hannah's reading it.
I'm so excited.
I'm
First
really
time I
excited
read it.
for
I'm
you.
really
and then
excited.
Rachel's reading it for the first time. So you won't read it again before we.
Way of Kings?
Yeah.
Probably not. I might skim it.
What the? I could
It's
never.
because we go through them too fast on Audible. She's reading it so
Yeah.
she can retain it better.
Yeah, maybe that makes sense.
When I read a physical book,
You retain
it
it
stays
better.
with me a
lot
lot longer.
Yeah.
Okay. So something that we really wanted to do, well, I really want to do, and so we're going to do it, is I think that there are some really wonderful ways to create a little bit more romantic tension and sexual tension.
Yeah.
In Stormlight, I think Brandon does a great job of incorporating relationships, but he doesn't do that like spiciness that we all really enjoy. So we are going to attempt to write some fanfic to go along with the podcast.
The .69 chapters.
I haven't decided whether I really like that yet.
I do.
Okay.
I
So
like
it'll be it'll be chapter 7.69. So
Yeah.
because we're adults. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna
Nice.
have fan fiction to go along, which you'll be able to find on our Patreon. So
Yes.
it's very, very exciting, and I cannot wait for Rachel and Hannah to experience the Cosmere, the Stormlight Archive.
I really liked Way of Kings. I think you'll really like it.
I
know you're
will.
gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna like
Going
it.
from Twilight to Way of Kings.
If I don't like it, I need you to check on me.
You're gonna like
Yeah.
it.
You know, like
No,
say it's
you're
not
gonna
right.
like it a lot. Did you see my AI fan art?
I did.
It was good, huh?
I just didn't know what it was for. I didn't know
Yeah.
who the characters were, so I was like, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to convert some maybe romantic fantasy readers just to see if they'll dabble in high fantasy. Not that the Way of Kings is like, it's accessible because Brandon's writing is accessible,
Yeah.
but it is hardy.
It's meaty.
It
There's
is a
lot
meaty
going
book.
on. And there's a lot of like, here's this tiny little drop of plot. And I am not going to come back to this
For a
till they're a long time, maybe
for
3
a-
books. I don't know.
yeah, for a long
Could go
time.
longer. And
Yeah.
then you're going to be like, oh yeah, you mentioned that way back in Way of Kings.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not really blowing this out of proportion in my head, but in my head, I imagine it to be very similar to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Just because of the
Yeah, except for
link.
Tolkien.
But easier to
Tolkien's-
read.
Tolkien's
Okay, good.
language is more like literary. I feel like
Yeah. I mean,
and Tolkien's stories are like almost intellectual.
I think
Yeah.
Brandon's strength is that he creates these really dense plots that are all character driven.
And
So
I love that.
So you get both plot, but then you get really deep, really well fleshed out characters.
Yes.
And so you care about the plot because you care
about the
people.
characters.
And I think that's absolutely his strength. And then when the plot is thinner, it's fine because you're here for the characters. Like every time we come back to Kaladin, I'm like, oh hell yeah. Like I'm excited to come back to Kaladin.
And the way he has said that he writes his characters is he writes the whole story for the characters and then he puts it together. But that's absolutely what it is. I love character driven stories.
Yeah.
And he does it super well, which makes adding some spice actually really easy because
Yeah.
I already know, especially for the Way of Kings, where I want to add it.
Yeah,
and
they feel like real people.
I already know who it's going to be and what they're going to do, and I'm really excited.
Excited.
All right. So we're going to start with Way of Kings when we come back.
Yeah, in October.
Yeah. And so I guess we'll just leave it there.
So that means July, August, and September are off.
Yeah. Unless we do
Correct.
movies.
Yeah.
They're off for books. They're off for books.
Off for books.
Okie dokie.
We'll miss you, friends.
Yeah. See you in October.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Is it hot in here or is it just me tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy novels of the spicy variety? Not your average book club, if you know what